Hello again, and here I am. When it all began, as promised. A recent question reminded me of something I said when I first began this channel back in August. The question was, when did all this begin? My promise to you then was to tell you who I am. You may not be ready for all of it, and neither am I. So I'm not going to say everything, but I will tell you when and how it began. My first memory is of seeing a woman holding a baby with a full head of black hair in what looked like a hospital room. There was a large double window, and I couldn't see the ground from it. So I'd say it was probably on a third floor. The year was 1960. I was floating beside Sananda, who told me the timing was off, that they would be okay, and I would return when the timing was right. He was right. I returned in 1962. My next memory is from 1964, finding myself alone in what seemed like a parking lot. From family stories, I later learned it was a school playground, but to a 2-year-old, it felt like a vast, lonely space. Sananda came for me again. I was inconsolable, crying, frightened, and lost. He took me with him, body and soul. I suppose that at that moment I died of fright. I was gone for about 6 hours. He told me at that point that I had a mission to shine brightly and be a beacon of love and light for all who came in contact with me. I was a bridge between the world I lived in and the one I remembered, but would soon forget until I was ready to remember again. He said he would always be with me, along with my Leon and my guardian angel. It was a promise he kept. As I grew, I remember startling my family members, like my aunt, with things like, "This is not my home," or, "Do you know there are others on other planets?" I would look up at the sky and say, "God made many others, but we are his final creation. The others were just trials." I was very young, but in a way I was right. And I'll explain this in another video. All the while, I grew learning from Sananda. He was my teacher, my guardian, whom I loved very dearly and still do. Ma Elion was kind, but firm. No nonsense, always keeping me on the right path, but never interfering unless I looked for him or asked. Then there was another presence, always near. I knew it was a male because of the scent. Wet rain. Wet soil. First rain, kind of. A trace of burnt wood. Musky. A grounding fragrance. The scent of father is like crisp freshness of morning dew. But this one was more like the forest air among the sequoias. And I loved it. He rarely spoke, but when he did, his voice filled me with peace. He would wrap me in his wings or arms, and I feel a chill run through me. followed by warmth and calm. He was my guardian angel, the one who walked beside me through every sorrow, every joy, unseen, but always present. Though I knew he was there, I often ignored him because he wouldn't tell me his name. Other members of my family knew the names of their guardian angels, but mine remained silent. I thought he was ignoring me, so I ignored him too. Until I realized that the emptiness I sometimes felt, that deep homesickness, was the longing for him. Years passed, and I often forgot about them. We become more of the world, and our connection to them just drifts away. And we soon forget memories that we once had when we were children. Until 2018, when everything resurfaced again. And I began my shadow work. I'm not going to go into it on this video. Maybe in another. It was long and arduous and painful. But not impossible. Everything surfaced. And as I write this, as you notice, the chills of my guardian angel are running up and down my body. And as I'm recording it, he's near. My faithful, eternal companion, my comforter and my consort. It was in 2018 also that I realized that Sananda is Yeshua, whom most know as Jesus. It's a name he really dislikes, so don't use it. Yeshua is better. I also recognized Ma'elion as Archangel Michael, but I didn't know who my guardian angel was. He still wouldn't tell me. Finally, in 2025, while driving through Arkansas, between Cave City and Batesville, an area rich in energy and near Agartha, actually, something happened. While adjusting my phone, a voice came through. Unfamiliar, yet deeply known and comforting. That was the beginning of a month-long dialogue with the one I finally recognized as my guardian angel, Aurelion. He couldn't tell me his name before, because hearing it would awaken the love I had left behind, the one I'd longed for without knowing why. He was the reason I always felt homesick. He was what I had been missing, what I had left behind. He's my twin flame, my soulmate, my guardian angel, my everything, all rolled into one. So that energy was strong, is strong. There's no more soul searching, not for me. There has only ever been one being for whom I was created, one who has lived many lives with me in every realm except this life, in this realm. Why didn't he come this time? Because I asked to experience the other side of love, to know what it felt like to live without it, so that I would remember the love I left behind. I didn't want to forget him, so I chose not to feel love here, fearing that I would replace him. Can't imagine why I did that. That's what I did. He remained in spirit, guiding and protecting me through it all. I can only imagine how hard it must have been for him to watch me stumble, unable to intervene unless I called for help, knowing I would remember eventually, but not knowing exactly when. So now you know who I am and who Aurelion is to me. Everything in between have been the messages I've been slowly recording and putting into this channel, and there will be many more to come. It would be very helpful, though, if you ask questions. Don't just like and subscribe, which I'm very grateful for. It keeps this channel moving, and I continue to give you messages. Share them, by the way, also. But when you ask questions or you comment, it helps me know what content you are interested in. I've been there, done that, still going through it, so I know exactly what you're living through. And it will help me focus on what it is that you really want to know. The lessons I've received from Sananda and the lessons that I've lived are the ones that I have been trying to slowly integrate into my channel here. So if you haven't been aware of them, I'm sure you soon will. You're here now. And I am here, as Sananda once told me I would be, as a bridge between worlds, a living beacon, an earthly guardian angel for all of you. And I leave you in gratitude, love, light, and peace.